Hello guys. Hi, this is Lisa, an occupational therapist specialized in Palliative therapy.
Guys.
Master degree in autism spectrum disorder.
Specialized in therapy.
Guys. And welcome to this live chat with Lisa. Every Wednesday, I try to connect. And just give me 1 second. We're going to arrange here the things. Okay. So, like I was saying, every Wednesday I try to connect around 7:30 p.m. to talk about different topics and bring a little bit of awareness about occupational therapy. So today's topic it's about handwriting. Yes, not very exciting for a Wednesday afternoon, evening, but I hope that this is going to be useful for some of you. I hope that everybody is doing well. I've been going on with this chat with Lisa for quite a while now, and like I always say, I love to read you, so whenever you have questions and you would like me to focus on something else, just please let me know. As an occupational therapist, I work with children with special needs. I always say the same. No, we work on different conditions, neurological conditions. We work on different type of delays, rare disorders. Besides maybe the most known one like autism, dyspraxia, dyslexia, ADHD, etc., or sensory difficulties. So I will say that sometimes I target certain topics like oral motor skills and feeding, which are very important. In fact, if you are interested, I just did a very cool react about one of the episodes in Super Nanny. And it was really, it was really interesting because it was about potty training, feeding, and a little bit of challenging behaviors. So I definitely suggest you to check it out. I always leave my videos both in live, or the ones that I'm doing like reacts, etc., on my YouTube channel and now on Twitch. If you are watching me from YouTube, now you can follow me. I will much appreciate it on Twitch as well, so we can build up a little bit more this community. So with this introduction, I'm just going to check a couple of things. Yes. Okay, hope you can hear me well. If not, please let me know. All right. Yeah, let me see. Ba-da-dum. I am just going to check that everything is working. Okay, I always say that you can always follow me on social media, and at the same time, if you have any questions or whatever, you can always ask me and write me, which is I highly appreciate. So yes, let's jump into this handwriting topic. So as you can see, the title says how to introduce letters in handwriting, a simple 5-step approach for beginners. Now, we are not talking about handwriting, how to write properly, okay? We are talking about handwriting for children who it's their first time basically to introduce themselves for for letter formation, and we don't know how to do it. And this is the reason why sometimes you will be actually going for an occupational therapist to see if the occupational therapist can guide you, right? When we are talking in occupational therapy, when we're talking about fine motor skills and gross motor skills, there is this big, I will say, category differentiation. No? Fine motor skills refers to everything that has to be with fine motor abilities. So with our hands, everything that we can manipulate, no? So small puzzles, coins, holding the pencil, no? Developing in the future the handwriting, let's say lacing, beating or threading, no? All these activities. So basically, scissoring, it will be part of the fine motor skills, right? Any activity that has to be involved with our hands. And something that it's a little bit more accurate, so the child needs to pay a little bit more of attention. When we talk about gross motor skills, we talk about all the other skills and group of skills that we mainly need in order to have a good balance, in order to have good ball skills, be able to jump, be able to feel ourselves comfortable in the environment, etc., etc. So for handwriting, let's say that between 4.5 years and 6 years, depends from which country you are, we are going to start the handwriting process. We are going to start introducing letters. And independently how is your educational system, independently from which country you are watching me, in occupational therapy we like to have a little guidance how we should introduce the letter formation. Because you could say, okay, we are going to start maybe with letter A, no, because that's the beginning of the alphabet. Or maybe we are going to start with letter Z, because the name of my kid starts with letter Z. So there is a structure, the way how we are going to introduce it, and the reason why is because certain letters will be more complex or not for handwriting. Okay, if you see me distracting, is because I have, I need to make sure that I am responding also to messages and checking on you guys. Okay, so like I said, if you would like to help me to grow my community, please follow me on Twitch. Much appreciated. Okay, so now we continue. So what is the reason of categories? We're going to have 5 different categories, as the title says, and this is the reason why it's called the 5 easy steps. First, we're going to take all the 26 letters of the alphabet. So here I'm talking about the typical ABC, okay? So if you're obviously watching me from another country where the alphabet is different, it will be a little bit complicated. I don't know if we could actually work on the same letters, but I'm talking about, let's say, the typical ABC, no? We are going to start working with the tall letters. We call them the tall letters or the straight letters. Those letters are the easier to do. If you, it depends on the age of your child. Most of the time we are going to start by drawing some lines, some circles, then we can start doing some shapes, no? And then eventually we go for handwriting. You don't do from the beginning, you don't start writing the name of your kid. That's not possible because our brain development needs a couple of stages and has to pass through different phases in order for you to feel comfortable with the handwriting. So, what we are going to do first? First, we're going to start with the letter L, T, J, I, K. Now, I'm going to drop then all this information on the description box below. So, you will have on the description box all the categories. Okay, so if you are just watching and chilling, that's fine. I am happy for that. And if you have questions, you can ask me. And otherwise, I'm going to drop everything in the description so you can follow. So first, we're going to have the tall letters, letter L, letter T, letter I, J, and K. Okay, what happened or what is the reason of those letters? Those letters are straight line, okay, so you have to start from top to bottom, and they are easier to trace, okay, they are easier to imitate, and they are easier to start with handwriting. So you want first to make sure that the child is capable to do those first lines. because if we are having difficulties with those, then it's going to be very much difficult for him to do proper A, proper Q, or if we are going to go for letter B, you know, and letter P, etc., etc. There is then an age around 6 years and a half, 7, that the letter, for example, B and Q, P and B, B and D are very easy to confuse. And this is when you have to be very careful to make sure that your child knows how to write all the other letters, and this is just a little confusion. Or maybe you need to step back, go to the first category, you know, the first step, start working on the tall letters, and then eventually proceed till you don't clean up all the alphabet before actually we start writing and we start focusing on words. Now, because to write short words like cat, dog, and etc., it's not difficult, but if the child doesn't have a proper letter formation, you will always find it difficult how to actually write the words. No, what we like to do in occupational therapy as well, or at least me as an occupational therapist, I like to do a little warm up before we do the handwriting. So we are going to do certain activities with therapeutic putty. I have a couple of videos in my YouTube channel where I explain a little bit which type of therapeutic putty we need to use and how to use them and which exercises we have for that. So please go and check them if you're interested. So we are going to warm up a little bit our fingers, and visually we are going to warm up those letters. Maybe with therapeutic putty we can do the letter L, which is very easy because you just roll the putty and you place it in a L shape, or you can do the letter T or letter I, etc., which will be more interesting. Also, we have, like, for example, plastic letters where you can just, you know, stack them on the therapeutic putty and you will just create the form, which is also very nice for the child, no? And then you can do, I don't know, you can do sensory letters. You can write on a container full of kinetic sand or rice. You can be creating a lot of nowadays there are plenty of activities how you can work on letter recognition, which is not letter formation, okay, because all of this, what I'm saying, it's letter recognition. So if you do with therapeutic putty, if you go with for eyes, if you're going to do certain activities or whatever, those are the activities that you do before actually introducing the letter formation. And then you go with the pencil, paper and paper, pencil and paper. We can do wide lines, and you start, you know, slowly working on those letters. Nowadays online you have a lot of worksheets prepared already, dot to dot, tracing lines, you know, tracing letter formation that you can just download, photocopy, and do them. Okay, but so the idea of this video was to a little bit introduce you to this category, because sometimes I do feel that both occupational therapists and parents are a little bit lost, and they go to the school, they have this huge pressure from the school that your child doesn't know how to write, and we start, you know, like randomly introducing numbers and letters and everything at the same time, and the kid just cannot cope with it, because it is a huge pressure for the child, no? So I'm just checking here, 1 second, to make sure that everything is live. So we are going to start with the horizontal strokes, with the horizontal letters, with something that it's simple, okay? Like I said before, letter L, letter I, letter J, K, and T. Okay, now let's say we manage to do those. Okay, so the first group is ready. What we do is, maybe what we can do is to make sure that the child knows how to write. You know, you do a couple of reviews, etc. You manage that the child is writing those letters. We jump to the second group, second category. Now, if you are followed by an occupational therapist, the occupational therapist will be able to guide you properly. If you are doing it at home, like I said, I'm going to leave the description of the steps under the video, So you make sure that you follow it properly, okay? Obviously, this is my suggestion as an occupational therapist, under my responsibility, that what is working for me. I'm not saying that this is how it's going to fix the letter formation of your child, or, you will have, I don't know which type of, results. This is something that as occupational therapists we follow for a reason, and this is the reason why I create this video. Okay, the second category is the rounded letters. So we are going to have 4 here. We're going to have A, C, O, and D. So those letters, just let me make sure that I am not exactly, A, C, D, and O. So those 4 letters are the round letters. So we pass through going for a straight lines, straight letters, which are the easiest, because usually the number 1 and the circle are the 2 first patterns that you will introduce to your kid when you want him to start scribbling and, manipulating basically any crayon or anything with the paper, So first we go with the straight lines. That's the reason why we have that first category. And then we are going for the round letters. And the round letters are A, C, D, and O. Those letters are the same. We are going to go for different tracing letters. We are going to try to go for maybe tactile letters. Maybe we can do some coloring, of letters as well, of those 4 letters. So we provide a lot of information for the child to recognize. First of all, recognize the letters, and then we are going to work on the formation of the letter. Okay, recognition is a very important skill, because if the child is not recognizing the letter, the association between the letter and the letter formation, the fact that I see letter O and I know that it's letter O, and then I have to write the letter O, it will make a huge difference. So I always suggest that in the same session, or if you're at home and you're working from home or wherever with your kid, you try to work first on the letter recognition, and then we jump into letter formation. So that was for the second category. The same process like for the first category. You can work on therapeutic party, you can work on RISE, you can work on sensory letters, you can actually do whatever is convenient for you, what you have at home. But very important, we first come closer to this recognition of the letters, and then we jump into the formation. The third category are the curves lines, okay? So we are going to go for those complex ones, like the letter J, letter Q, letter E, and letter S. Again, we have another 4 letters. The letter S and the Q are very tricky and very complicated. So let's say we manage the straight line, we manage the curve lines, and now we're going, not the curve lines, sorry, the round letters, and now we go for the curved ones. So we have the letter G, letter J, letter Q, letter E, and letter S. Okay, those letters are, like I said, are a little bit complicated, but the same. S for snake, we go around, we can be working with our fingers, tactile recognition, tactile formation, then we can be writing. Sometimes even I suggest that you could be dividing it in 2 groups. You could be working J and Q together, okay, and then so G and Q in one, and then S and E in the other. So you don't mix them together, okay? E for elephant, I think it's quite easy, and even S for snake. We always use a lot of like sensory activities at the same time, and a lot of flashcards. You can use flashcards at the same time. You can use whiteboard markers with books that are full with dot to dot letters. Anything basically to catch the interest of the child and show him how to actually form the letter. okay? So that's for the third category. The fourth category, we are going to go for the V, W, X, Y, and Z. So actually we are going to clean the last letters of the alphabet to get all almost the same, because we are going to have the same pattern. So the letter V, the letter W has the same similar pattern. The letter X, it's still two straight lines crossing. Y has the same initiative like the V, and the Z and the Z. Okay, so those 5 letters are going to go in the fourth category. So we had the first one. I will just repeat for us to have it. The first category was a letter L, T, J, I, K. Then we have the O, A, C, and D. Then we are going to have the G, Q, E, S. And now we are going to have the V, W, X, Y, and Z. And obviously the fifth category are the remaining letters, which are the complex form, we call it, okay? The complex form. So we are going to have the letter R, the letter U, the letter M, N, because those complex form, they are a little bit different than of the, for example, letter Y or letter X. We're still working on straight lines crossing or straight lines together. The letter, for example, H, letter F, letter N, M, U, R, they are a little bit different, no? That's the reason why they are called the complex letter. And this will be our actually 5-step approach, how to introduce handwriting, how to introduce letter formation to our kids. It doesn't look difficult. I always suggest that in case if you have questions, because at school, you got a little, the teacher told you that, oh, listen, your child is not following, or maybe your kid needs a little bit of assistance with handwriting and so on. I always suggest that if for that reason you have occupational therapist who can guide you, and then can maybe provide you some materials and tools and strategies to guide you to have, to work properly on the letter formation and how to introduce the letter formation. I'm going to leave all these details under the video, okay? So like this, you will be able to follow and save it. You can also share it, okay? I much appreciate it. And yes, and then continue working on what is next. Like I said, sometimes when we have children who shows difficulties, they show difficulties to sit down and to do handwriting. In fact, today I was having an online session, and the child had a very difficult day today at school because he didn't want to write, because they asked him to write a lot of sentences and he didn't want. Meltdowns happened, okay? They are part of our also day-to-day, and definitely not many kids likes to color, not many kids likes to write, etc. But we also can find different ways to introduce handwriting, and we can also find different possibilities how to work actually on different letters and make it fun, For certain children, maybe we need to do a little bit of gross motor activities before actually sitting and writing. So what I mean is that maybe we can do a little bit of jumping on the trampoline in case if you have a trampoline at home. Maybe we can run a little bit. Maybe we can go to the playground. Maybe we can explore other scenarios where actually your child can, use that energy accumulated, those emotions and feeling accumulated during the day, and then actually we can sit down and focus on the handwriting, because it's totally reasonable. Not every child feels like after school sit down and do the homework and start maybe working extra with the occupational therapist or what the occupational therapist told you, etc., etc. But like I always say, the idea of these videos are to bring awareness about occupational therapy, which not just because I'm an occupational therapist, but I do believe that it's an amazing profession. And at the same time, bring a little bit of awareness that you are not alone. I much appreciate all the followers, likes, the shares, the comments, etc., etc. The idea is just to be helpful for some of you, and if you have questions, you can write me. If you need any type of suggestions or tools or whatever, you can, not only me, there are now a lot of occupational therapists around the world that can guide you and help you, So this is extremely important. I think we are going to stop here. Okay, so if you have any questions, I'm just going to see over here what is happening. If you have any questions, you can always, ask me and drop a comment. I'm going to leave a little introduction over here in my in the video, so you will be able to follow this what we were talking. Okay, and if you need anything else, you can always write me. Like I said, nowadays you have a lot of stuff available online, so that's a good thing. It's a positive thing. At the same time, you have, like I said, a therapist available to make sure that your child can develop properly. The same goes for handwriting, and the same goes for any other fine motor activity. We have a lot of kids who, they just don't like it. They don't like coloring, they don't like drawing, they don't like those fine motor activities from occupational therapists, and I totally get it. But the idea is that those activities are designed the same way, like I told you, there is a way how we can break that ABC into 5 categories. There is a reason why it is designed like that, and there is a logic behind. So I am here just to ask you to follow it or at least try it and see how it goes. Okay, so well, thank you very much for following, thank you for listening, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to like the video if you like the content, and follow me on Twitch. I much appreciate your help and your support and everything. So I see you in the next video. In the meantime, take care. Bye bye.